I hope I find you well wherever you are watching me from. Brothers and sisters, it is imperative that we understand the times we are in. Now, we want to look at 2 Timothy chapter number 3. I'm sure you are aware, many of you, that the New Testament was translated from the Greek language. It was written in the Greek language and translated to the various translations that we have today. Now we want to look at what the Apostle Paul was explaining to Timothy about perilous times. He gives us a description of perilous people or perilous beings that we will have. These are demonic entities. These are demonically driven individuals. So he says here, but know this, that in the last days perilous times will come, for men will be lovers of themselves. Now, that phrase, lovers of themselves, comes from the Greek word philotos, meaning that men will be selfish, they will be self-centered, they will think only for their own affairs or well-being. And he says they will be lovers of money, which is that they will be philanthropos. These are avaricious type of individuals that love money, that will do whatever it takes to get money. They can sell drugs, they can commit murder for money. And he says that men will be aladzone. Aladzone meaning that they will be boasters, braggers. You know, they will be boasting of their own achievements and possessions. I came across a certain ministry where the founders would boast about their own achievements and possessions, the whole service. Nothing about the message of the cross, nothing about Jesus Christ, nothing about salvation. They were just boasting over their material gain. And we have such in this time and dispensation in most ministries, that people are fixated and focusing on material gain. And he says that they will be proud, that they will be proud people, which is from the root word upreifanos. Upreifanos meaning that they see themselves a cut above the rest. They see themselves as the first class of God, the first class of heaven. We have such preachers that see themselves as the first class of God, the first class of heaven, the ones that are very close to God, where nobody else can reach. And he speaks here, he says that there will be also blasphemers, which comes from the root word blasphemos, which means they will be against God, they will be against Christianity and the church. And he says that they will be disobedient to their parents. When you look at how the children nowadays are, they can come after midnight from God knows where they are coming from. And when the parents try to discipline them, they will tell the parents, bluntly, I have my rights, I know my rights. Because these are apithes. Apithes meaning that they are unpersuadable. You know, they are unteachable. They are untrainable. And we have such individuals in our time and dispensation. He goes on to say that they will be unthankful. And this comes from the root word akaristos, meaning that they will be ungrateful. No matter what you do for them, they will always find a reason to complain. They will always find reason to be unsatisfied, no matter how hard you try. So you'll find this type of people, the perilous people, perilous men. The apostle is explaining here. And he says they will be unholy, meaning that they are anosios, meaning that they will be very wicked. When you look at the magnitude of wickedness we have in our time and dispensation, it is never matched from all creation. So these are perilous people. We need to understand perilous times are backed up by perilous people. And he says that they will be unloving. And this comes from the root word astogos, meaning they will be hard-hearted towards their family, their siblings, their mother, their father, their grandfather, their grandmother. They are hard-hearted. They don't care. Even if their siblings are suffering, they don't care. So he explains here, says they will be also headstrong. Headstrong meaning that it comes from the root word aspondos, meaning that they violate covenants, the marriage covenant, the covenant of family. They are truce breakers. So no matter what covenant God has set, they do not care. They can violate it anyhow. And we are finding this with marriages being broken. 70% of women today file for divorce. So this is a demonic entity. And he says that there will be slanderers. Slanderers comes from the root word here. It comes from the root word diabolos, meaning that the devil. These are devils themselves. They are false accusers. So this is very interesting. He says also here that they will be haughty or incontinent without self-control. They will delve in whatsoever their flesh desires, and it comes from this root word akaretes, meaning they are incontinent people. He explains, he says also that they will be lovers of pleasure, meaning that they are anamorous, violent, ferocious, and wild. They just want to go wild. They just want to do whatever they desire to do. And he says that they will be hostile, which is aphilagathos, antagonistic or aggressive towards the church and Christianity. And he says they will be prodotes, betrayers. They will betray each other, and they will betray one another. They will betray others. And he says they will be prophetess, heady, rash. These are people that just do things without considering the possible consequences. And he says that they will be proud. These are high-minded people that are very proud, high-minded people. High-minded, they think of themselves and esteem themselves highly than what they ought to. Then it goes on here, and he says that they are what you call this? They are voluptuous, or covetously or sexually attractive, seductresses. They use their bodies to attract for sensual pleasure. These are philodonos, the lovers of pleasure rather than the lovers of God. They are seductresses. We find this on TikTok, on social media platforms now, how people are dressing, especially the women. This is directed to women who are curvaceous or sexually attractive, and they are using that to lure men. So this is a demon. It's a spirit from the pit of hell that has engulfed people. And he says here, Paul writes, and he says here, they have a form of godliness, but they deny its power, which means they have a morphosis or appearance of godliness, but they are denying the dunamis thereof. Now, I want you to ask yourself, with the things you post on social media, or the things that, how you live your life, the people you associate with, whatever you are surrounding yourself with, or your character, your personality, where do you fall in amongst these people that I've just described? Are you a perilous person, or are you a son of God? Brothers and sisters, my encouragement is that let us be aware and let us be cautious how we live and what we emulate, because certain things are demonically motivated. May God help us that we not be demonic driven, but let us be driven by the Holy Spirit. In Jesus Christ's mighty name.